y'all, I'm Elisa, the Scrappy Wife behind ScrappyWife.com, and today I have a memory planning process for you. I am working in my new memory planner. I am in July, and we will be documenting July 19th through the 25th. I have my photos printed out here. I have a lot of questions about how I print my photos. I do print at home. I have an Epson PictureMate printer that I will link below, and I use an app called Print to Size, and I will link that below as well. It works with iOS systems, and it allows me to put 4 photos per 4x6 page so that I can cut them down and they fit in my happy planner. So I will definitely link all of the supplies that I end up using down below. Otherwise, let's go. As always, I'm going to start by taking the pages out of my planner, and then I'm going to look at some of the elements that I'm wanting to include. I just received a shipment from the Paper Person shop, and I get their monthly subscription currently, and they have some really cute summertime themed cards that came this time around. So I figured I was going to use the cards as the basis for my page, and basically all I'm doing would be cutting out a few of the cards that either really jump out at me, provide a fun journaling spot, just things like that. The ones I really like that are just fun summer colors. It was kind of just your typical summer week. My kids had camp, we had neighborhood cookouts, we had a few fun things going on, nothing crazy, no vacations, just your typical summer week with a family that has kiddos. So I cut out all of my elements, and then I'm just going to start placing them around the page. At first, I think I want to include that big piece on the page, but I decided not to. I'm just going to go with the cards and let them kind of give me my color palette, and also let them help me to decide where I'm going to put all of my photos. For me, one of the things that makes memory planning so much easier than kind of your standard scrapbooking or memory keeping is that the layout is somewhat predetermined. If you are like me and you print out your photos in a small way and you want to put them on the day that they occurred, well, you don't have a ton of options. I'm going to kind of place these around the page on the days that I took those photos. Sometimes events get a little bit heavy, especially on the weekends, so they might spill over onto other parts of the week. But I feel like because the layout is almost predetermined for you, there's just not an infinite possibility of options. It makes it easier just to decide where everything is going to fit. Memory planning can be super easy, especially if you're just lining them up in the boxes. If you are just getting pictures down, writing down a few notes or a story about something that happened that week, then that is absolutely such a fantastic idea. You are getting those pictures off of your phone, getting stories out of your head, and I think that it's such a great way to document what is happening in your family or in your life. So that's always the goal. I generally sit down on Mondays when I can, most Mondays, and that's when I do my memory planning from the previous week. I make time for it and I have a routine around it, and that makes it easier to stay on top of a project like this. Plus, it's just a no pressure situation. I'm not developing these pages from scratch because it already has that weekly layout on there with the vertical boxes. It makes it easy to, like I said, place the elements where I think that they belong, as close to the day as possible that they occurred, and then just go from there. So I have all of the cards and all the pictures on my page, and it felt a little bit scattered to me. So I decided what I was going to do to bring a more cohesive feel would be to mat all of the pictures that I've chosen. It's funny because I totally thought I did not have very many pictures from that particular week, just because it was a busy work week for me, which tends to mean I don't have a lot of pictures of family time. But it turns out I have quite a few, and definitely enough to fill in a memory planner. So I have this kind of goldenrod color, and I'm going to use that to mat around all of my different pictures. Like I said, it brings a cohesiveness. There's a repeated pattern on the page, a repeated color, and I took my cue from the card that is all the way on the left that says summer plans, up in the top left. And on that card, I'm going to just kind of list out the different things that happened that week, kind of a summer checklist. And because that is the color where I'm going to do kind of a summary of the week, I thought that was a good color to choose from as far as the one to mat all the different pictures on. With my memory planner, I do like to use my adhesive tape glider. It's Scotch brand and it works so well. I really like the tape quality. The adhesive quality I think is pretty strong. These do not go in page protectors. They are out in the open, at least as kind of. They're in the memory planner, so they're not just laying out in the open, but they're not protected by a page cover. And so I feel like this adhesive holds really well and allows me to still be able to flip through the pages without fear of things falling off, which is always a little bit nerve-wracking when you don't have things in page protectors. You can tell that a bulk of the time for me for memory planning is actually just adhering everything down on the page. This is sped up 4 times. I'm just double checking the placement of everything, making sure I can see all of the pictures. Like I said, I print them at home. It's fun to be able to do that just because I don't have to think super far ahead as far as printing out my pictures or sending out for them to be printed. And I'm able to just decide on the fly. So I can just pick the photos that are speaking to me on that particular day or from that particular week. I don't have to order them in advance. I'm definitely totally digging the colors on this page. Bright summer colors are my favorite. Fall is my favorite season, but summer colors are my favorite colors just because I like color. I'm a rainbow girl. I love all the colors. And so I totally dig working in these summer kits and working on these summer pages because I just always want to use all of the bright colors, and all of the pictures I feel like have a ton of bright color in them as well. Another thing that actually makes it easier for me to do memory planning spreads is that I am team no white space. And that might sound crazy because it might sound like it would make it harder to fill up a memory planning spread, but it makes it easier because I know that I am not going to have white space left over my spread. I like for these spreads to be super full, either of my writing or of stickers. And so I can just put on elements. I start with the biggest elements, which in this case were the cards, and then I did the photos, and then I put in a few labels just to give me some extra journaling space. Now I'm coming in with some stamps. These are again from the Paper Person shop. I will link this set down below. This is just a really cute little summertime stamp set, and this one says feels like summer, and these long skinny stamps came in super handy just because of how I place my photos. I had some different white space areas to fill in. You can see I'm kind of auditioning this one. It says summer snapshots, again perfect for this particular spread, so I can fill that in. And then I also have another one that says sun kissed, and I will use that to frame out the picture of my daughter. She had soccer camp, her second soccer camp of the summer, and so she is definitely getting pretty sun kissed so far because she is playing soccer during the day, swimming in the afternoon, spending plenty of time outdoors when she can. So yeah, like I was saying, because I know that I'm going to fill in all the space, it kind of makes it easier to allow me to figure out what I'm going to do. So I'm constantly looking for different stickers, different labels, different stamps that will fit in all of the nooks and crannies of my spread. And to me, that is just a simpler way to work than if I were trying to leave white space behind. Okay, the second to last element that I'm adding would be stickers. Because these are a little bit odd shaped, I tend to leave them towards the end, and I like to use stickers in my memory planning spreads to soften some of the box corners. So you'll often see me filling in space, yes, but also putting these located near the corners of photos just so that there are not so many boxy photos. So for instance, I have fruit nestled in the picture of my daughter and I'm breaking up that summertime, that large summertime card with a big floral piece over there, breaking up some of the boxy corners by that summer plans. I just like adding those in and covering up some of those corners just so that they are not so out there and consistent through the whole spread. I don't cover up all the corners in this particular spread, but a lot of them just to break it up, make it more interesting to see. And then I kind of work from, again, bigger to smaller. The biggest stickers always go down first, working my way towards the smaller ones, including some of these puffy stickers that also came with the July Paper Person kit. The last piece I end up adding is actually a little bit random. This is from Felicity Jane, and I just didn't like the top over here. I could have done washi tape as well, but I had some Felicity Jane things pulled out, and I love this little scallop piece. It is a pink color that kind of coordinates a little bit, it has a peachy pink color, so I'll add that to the top just to break up that line. And then most of my elements will be done. The next thing I always add would be journaling lines. In this case, I didn't have a lot of room for journaling, so I'll have to keep it a little bit brief, but I just use a ruler and kind of come through and add journaling lines throughout the spread wherever there is any white space left, because that way I can come back in. I like to journal in different colors. I've been using Papermate Flare pens a lot in my journaling, and I also like the Ink Joy pens just because they come in so many colors. It works really well, and I can match a color with my spread. Generally, I do the lines in black ink there, as you can see, and then come back with a color. So I'll be journaling off camera. And that's it. Once my journaling is added in, I just pop this back into my planner. I give it a one last look over to see if there's any other places that I want to fill in that feel a little bit blank to me. Otherwise, this memory planning spread is done. Let me know below if you are okay with white space in your planner or if you are team no white space. I'd love to hear how you feel. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider hitting that subscribe button as well as the bell notification button. A huge shout out to all of my YouTube members. Thank you so much for your support. If you are interested in finding out about YouTube membership, make sure to click that join button or check the link in the description box. And while you're in the description box, there are links to all of the materials I use, so be sure to check those out as well. All right, I hope that you have a fabulous day, and as always, keep it creative.